Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Guess who's back? Mum's back.
Yay!
Back from Turkey. Not seen my mum for 3 weeks. We've done video calling, of course. You would have seen in the vlogs. Vlogger. The vlog.
The vlogger.
So, yes, she's back.
I'm back.
How was it?
Oh, it was beautiful. As always, it was lush. Apart from going with the airline that I chose this time, a little bit cheaper, but nah, not ever again.
So Mum went with, we'll mention it, with Wizz Air. They're a cheaper airline, but they're not exactly very reliable. So, before we carry on, by the way, this is just a sort of a chat update video. We're just going to briefly go over, Mum being in Turkey and etc. etc. Delayed going out, delayed coming back. And not just kind of, a notification to say, oh, it's been delayed so many hours. It's like multiple notifications. Delayed now by this time. Delayed. Oh, God, it was just a nightmare, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Going out, you were delayed by how many hours?
7.
So delayed by 7 hours, which is quite a long time. So you had to hang around at the airport, didn't you, for all that time?
And I didn't get notification until I actually got to the airport. I did my check-in, so I handed in my suitcase and went through security and everything, and then suddenly I get a message saying your flight's been delayed by 7 hours. I was like, really? Now I'm stuck in here. I can't go back, to do other things. I'm stuck in here and I'm not willing to spend any money at the airport because it costs too much. And then I got a little voucher, a £4 voucher to use for that one day to get a drink and maybe something to eat. But it was only £4 and at the airport. That doesn't cover anything really.
No, it doesn't. So, it's not really a lot, is it?
Nah.
You don't mind being delayed sort of an hour or two, but I mean 7 hours is quite a long time.
It is, yeah.
But then you had to be at the airport because they still want you to kind of check in, don't they?
Yeah, the normal time.
Kind of normal time, yeah. So going out was, that was a long sort of delay. Coming back was a shorter delay, but it still kind of dragged out, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because of all the kerfuffle.
Well, it actually turned out to be almost the same length of time because my flight was at 6:15 in the evening, Turkey time. So that would have meant it was 4:15 here, and I should have landed in the UK at 8:30 UK time. But we didn't actually leave the runway, cutting a long story short, leave the runway until 10:30 at night Turkey time. Hello? I mean, we were in the departure lounge from like 7 o'clock, 7:15, knowing that the flights had been delayed anyway. And we got basically told to get in the queue, ready to board. And then the next thing, the plane hadn't even arrived. Why tell us to get ready to board? 15 minutes later, we get told the plane had to be cleaned. We still stood in the queue, waiting to board. Then we got told they had to refill all the food so we could buy food on the plane. What's going on? And nobody knew what was going on, but they came up with all these excuses. And then the next thing, the crew walked past. And I was like, oh my God, they're probably going for a 3-course meal now while we're stood in the queue to board. And we were stood in the queue for a whole hour. Nobody told us to sit back down because they've gone for food or whatever they've gone to do. We just stood in the queue for 1 hour waiting to board, and then they came back after about an hour and the boarding time was more or less straight away. So we were like, yay, finally, we're getting off. Nah, we were sat on the plane and we got told due to air control in the UK, we're blaming each other all the time, first one as well. Due to the air control in the UK, we can't take off for another hour. And everybody shouted, "What? Another hour sitting here on the plane?" And then the pilot must have heard some commotion of us coming across, and he's like, maybe just 20 minutes, half an hour. It did turn out to be a full hour. We were sat on the plane waiting to take off. Honestly, I would not ever use that airline again. I'd rather pay a little bit more money than be fobbed off or told things that aren't even true, you know?
Yeah. So going out, the reason why there was a massive delay is because they had no staff. They had no staff to work on the plane, did they?
Exactly. Why have the plane or a flight date when they know that they haven't got any staff?
Well, I think sometimes they just do it and they're just winging it and thinking.
And then we got.
They're like thinking, well, we'll just, we'll have it up for people to kind of buy a flight, and then we'll just hope that there's going to be some crew to man the plane, kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Anyway, the one of the crew members was talking through the microphone when we were going over there, saying that we didn't have any crew together, so they had to find us, and we were all on the day off. So there's the 2 pilots on the day off, and then 4 or 5 crew members that were all on the day off, and they all had to be asked nicely if they would come in and fly us across to Turkey. And yet when we got on the plane and the pilot spoke to us and said sorry for the delay, the long delay, etc., etc., but that's where he then blamed Istanbul's air control and said it was actually air control in Istanbul that made us delayed. And I thought, yes, pull the other one, man. I mean, the guy that told us that they had to put a crew together, he was more honest and told it how it was. And the pilot saying it was air control, they were just blaming each other on one and the other side.
Luckily,
Ridiculous.
So when Mum was coming back from Turkey, she was a little bit kind of concerned coming back. Basically, what Mum decided to do coming back was to book a hotel, Premier Inn, in London, Gatwick. And I actually sort of said, I think you should book a room. You were due to go back to work because you flew back on the Sunday. You were going to go back to work on the Monday.
Yeah.
But all this kind of thing of delays and stuff, we thought it would be a good idea to, book a room, Mum to book a room for when she gets back on the Sunday so she can stay over. Because you were worried about being really tired, weren't you? And driving back in the night, in the dark, and maybe potentially falling asleep behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you might be better to book a room, get in contact with your work and just say, look, I think I'm going to be back late, blah, blah. Anyway, they were really good with Mum, and they said, yeah, take the day off, take the Monday off. They recommended that anyway before she went out, but she was like, no, I'll be all right. I'll be back to work.
I didn't expect any delays whatsoever.
No,
I mean,
but
you don't, do you? Especially in the summertime.
You don't really, but you do have to expect the delays. I mean, not as long as they were, but it happens. So luckily you managed to book a Premier Inn room, which was great.
Yeah, you saw that in my other vlog anyway, because I recorded it. Showed you the size of the room. It was massive. Which
meant the Mum could then just basically, kind of get to the room, then, drive back the next morning feeling a kind of a bit fresher, although you didn't really sleep very well, but still you were going back in the daylight.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, the travel part was all a bit not very great, was it? Compared to going with Turkish Airlines, they're really good.
Yeah, they are.
so yeah, you had to go on your own because obviously it was so short notice that everybody else couldn't kind of go with you. But it was an experience for you, wasn't it?
It
you
was,
and
yes.
it was a bit of an adventure. You knew where you were going because it was in the same area as to where it was a different hotel you stayed at, the G hotels, but the hotel Mum and I stayed at last time was literally opposite. So it was in the same kind of area. She knew exactly where she was. Well, actually, in fact, when we stayed at the other hotel, the Hilton, there were the odd days we actually went over to the G hotels because it's almost like a little complex and they've got like some shops, they've got restaurants and that. So we did go over there to just explore and have a look. So you knew exactly where you were. You already had your bearings. But yeah, it's just a different experience being on your own, and it was a chance for you to really just be with yourself, recuperate, re-energize.
It's actually an eye-opener to someone that doesn't really go anywhere, especially on their own, like me. And I've learned a lot about myself. I've found a lot of confidence in myself. I know I can do it. I've proven that. And I actually really enjoyed being on my own and just doing what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. Yeah, it was good. And then, of course, getting my treatment done in between. So I wasn't all that alone anyway, and having FaceTimes with Michael and Kirsty and my friends. So I wasn't really alone anyway.
No, you weren't alone in that respect. But it's, it was a kind of a challenge, something kind of out your comfort zone, traveling to a different country on your own. But, you did it, and
Definitely.
you did really well, considering, you had all this sort of mishaps of kind of, the travel part. But that's all done now. That's all kind of, behind you.
That's
It's great.
now.
Yeah. I wanted to mention we had a little bit of a panic and a worry while Mum was out in Istanbul, because while Mum was out there, the first kind of couple of days, wasn't it, the internet went down in the hotel, which of course meant she couldn't message us or anything. So the last we heard from you was when you went for one of your treatments. You had your treatment
on the Monday, yeah,
and then you came back, but we heard nothing from you. So of course we give it a few hours because we thought, well, it might be taking a long time, the treatment. Anyway, it was getting on time, and I was going, this is really weird, because normally she would be back in the hotel room by now. And I was talking to my sister, because we're all on a group chat, and my sister was getting really worried. She's like, right, you need to find out what's going on. Where is she? Why is she not messaging? Because this was probably about 5, nearly getting 6 hours now since we'd not heard from her, and we were like, nah, it won't take that long, surely, the treatment.
No.
Anyway, come down to I managed to message a coordinator, because I'm on the group, and I've got his number, and I just sort of asked, has my mum got back to the hotel? And he said yes, she's back already. And I'm thinking, why are we not hearing from her? And we didn't think about the internet maybe being down. We just didn't think of that. Our thoughts was, Mum's gone off on her jollies on her own. She's gone on a little mission. She's gone venturing out, and she's lost or whatever. You have all these scenarios going on.
You're never left alone.
Anyway,
you should know that.
So
you've been with me.
It was getting really worrying, and we basically we put out a search party for Mum on Facebook. On the Medaway group. If you see this woman, put a picture up. Could you please let her know, that we're looking for her, and maybe try and get her to message us in some way, get in contact. Yeah, it was quite funny when you sort of think about it now, but it wasn't at the time. It was quite worrying. And I was just gonna say, before I forget, we tried to phone the hotel itself from here, but we can't do international calls. It's not in our kind of Sky package thing for phone calls. We couldn't do that. I emailed the hotel asking if my mum was okay. I got no response, because they obviously don't check them.
Well, there was no internet, so they couldn't have checked it anyway. if you sent.
Oh
an
yeah,
email.
that's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Well, we didn't know that. Well, but we didn't know there wasn't any internet, did we?
No, exactly.
So we thought everything was okay. Of course, coordinators got my message because they had internet where they were, because they're in a different place. If anyone's confused, I messaged on the Medaway group that have other people there, like support teams and stuff like that. I did message one guy, and I said, look, I'm really worried about my mum. She's not messaging back. And he said, okay, leave it with me and we'll find out what's going on. Anyway, he took a long time to try and find out what was going on. And of course, us British can be a little bit impatient. They're a bit different over there. They take a bit longer to do things. They're a bit more relaxed. Anyway, it came down to that somebody had a number for the hotel nurse. Someone on the Facebook group give us this number for the hotel nurse, and they said get in contact with the nurse because she's actually there already, and you know she will go and see where your mum is. You should go to her room basically, because we wanted somebody to go to your room and knock on your door and make sure you're okay. Anyway, got hold of this nurse and I said, look, I'm looking for my mum. Could you please go and check if she's okay? Her room number is blah, blah. Got a response within literally 2 minutes. Yes, of course, I'll do that straight away. I'll be there in like, you know, a couple of minutes. Don't stress. All will be fine. Anyway, she went to mum's room. She knocked on the door. She did take a picture of the room. You know, she's in the room because they light up. They have like a light outside. If it's a certain colour, then it means they're in the room. She took a picture just to prove that she was there. She said, I've knocked on the door, but there's no answer, but she is in there. Maybe she's asleep. And I thought, well, okay, maybe she is asleep.
I was.
Anyway, then she phoned me briefly through WhatsApp. She phoned me, had a chat with me. And I said, is there any way you can get into the room with like a key? And she said, we can, but we have to phone the room first before we enter the room. So I was like, okay. So she went to reception. They phoned the room. Luckily, it woke you up, didn't it?
Yeah, they just asked me if I was okay. And I said, yeah, why? Your son's asking. Yeah, tell him I'm okay and I'm sleeping. And we got no internet. Right, okay. And then the next thing, doorbell went. Binga, 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 binga.
Yeah, so the nurse then was ringing on the doorbell. Mum opened the door and was a bit like, oh, what's going on, you know? And she's like, you know, the nurse just wants to check you're okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
Can you tell your son that as well? Here's my phone.
Yeah, so I was because the nurse said, oh, I can let you speak to your mum through my phone. So I was like, oh, great. So anyway, we managed to talk to each other. So big relief. Oh, she's okay. Everything's fine. Mum was saying, yeah, the internet's down. I couldn't do anything. So the only thing I thought I'll do is go to bed early and get an early night.
Yeah, because I couldn't watch TV, i.e. my Fire Stick, because no internet. I couldn't text anyone. I was worried too, though. I mean, you weren't the only ones. I was worried that I couldn't get in touch with you. Yeah. But I know now for next time that all I should have done really is ask one of the staff downstairs to put me on their Wi-Fi, and never thought of it.
Well, you don't in this situation, do you?
Well, the whole hotel was down, so you think everybody's down, no matter who they are. Yeah. But that's not the case, is it? Because they all have their own Wi-Fi's, like we have over here. Like we've got 4G, 5G when we're outside, out and about, and they have the same kind of thing. And I never thought. But I was so worried of not being able to tell the children that, you know, we got no internet. And not to worry.
That's the point.
But I know next time.
They would have had,
they go back.
They have their own Wi-Fi because obviously they have Wi-Fi for like, you know, the people staying at the hotel only and etc. Anyway, so yeah, that was a big relief. My sister was literally beside herself.
Bless her. She
was like so worried, and she was saying to me, oh my God, you need to put your foot down and find out where my mum is, because she's not on this group chat or anything, so I had to kind of message to and fro. It was a bit of a palaver, but anyway, mum was found in a room just sleeping. Yeah. So yeah, the start was a little bit rocky, but at least we knew because the internet was down. If mum wasn't responding anywhere, we knew that it was because of the internet. So it finally came back on, didn't it? you did manage to.
I had 62 missed messages on the WhatsApp group that we made up between us 5.
You managed to get on, didn't you, through somebody else's internet?
I did, yes.
At the bar area, which was really
kind.
good. So that was great. And then it did eventually come back on in the hotel. So, yeah, it's just one of those things that happens.
But then I was worried for the rest of the week in case it went down again, you know?
Yeah. But we would have known anyway. If he'd not responded for hours, we would have been like, oh, okay, the internet's probably down again. But it's surprising how much we rely on the internet nowadays, because everything is done on the internet, and it is a really good way of staying connected. It really is. Although, you know, there's times we slate it and go, oh, the internet is so annoying, you know, being able to connect to everybody in the world. But no, it does help a lot, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, we'll move on from that now, because we've talked about that too long. So you had your teeth fixed.
I did.
So the other teeth that you had a fracture in them. If anybody else doesn't know about this, who's watching that's new. So you went over to have them fixed, but basically you've had a brand new set done, made and installed.
Installed.
If anyone hasn't seen, go and watch the vlog, and you'll see it on there, and previous vlogs as well. It's been a huge process altogether. It's been massive. That was your 4th time going to Turkey, but actually it's been worth it in regards to kind of the financial side, because it is cheaper. Now there'll be people wanting to know how much you kind of paid, just sort of, you know, roughly how much you paid without cost of the flights. How much was it for like everything you had done?
8.5 grand.
So 8.5 grand, which was extractions, dental implants, bone grafting, sinus lift, 2 sets of new teeth, because luckily this new set Mum's had done, she got it for free, because they did say to her, look, if there's any problems, this was when we were there the last time, if there's any problems, I was a witness, any problems at all, anything, you know, needs fixing, we'll do it absolutely free. So you got it done for free, which was really great. They do have like a kind of a guarantee thing, warranty thing anyway on teeth, when you have them done, because they're not supposed to really break within a couple of months. That, I mean, they're so strong, the teeth, that they should last for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was nothing to do with the dental work whatsoever.
Bear in mind, you look after them properly.
Yeah, you look after them.
Is
but the dentist
I've
did
been
say,
praised about that. I have looked after them really well.
Yeah, he did praise you. He said you looked after them really, really well. And he said it's basically the reason why they fractured was just a weak spot. Just a weak spot in the teeth, because it's pretty much a whole bridge you've got, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was the laboratory's fault, basically. Not the dentist's fault at all.
No,
before anyone thinks, oh well, you know, the dentist has not done a good job, but no, he's amazing.
He's amazing. He's a perfectionist. So
he's a really, really good dentist.
Yeah. So he did know that it was like one of those things. What you've just mentioned. He's
a perfectionist. He really, really cares about his clients. Go for a wee there. He is a perfectionist, the dentist, cares for his clients. He really, really does. He wants everything to be spot on. And yeah, he was quite happy that you came back,
so quickly, well.
Because he did say, look, you know, you need to come back as soon as possible so I can fix it. And yeah, he was really happy with the result as well of your new set. They are a little bit different, aren't they? Sort of shape and sort of length, slightly different. And I think that they actually fit better in the mouth, because when Mum had her first ones done, she had like an implant moved, So there was some swelling there, so it wasn't completely healed, but he still sort of did it for her. And he did say there's a bit of a risk, but you know, we all learn from things like this. And so the new ones are even stronger because he's put some sort of a metal kind of plate inside the teeth to make them like extra strong.
Yeah, they're the highest ones you can get, basically. I can't remember what you said they were called, but you can't go any better than these ones now.
Yeah, because again, with being a perfectionist, he doesn't want to be having to kind of fix them again if he, you know, and they should last now forever.
Yeah, definitely.
So people are probably thinking, well, can I see what your teeth look like then, please? So do you want to get a bit closer to the camera and just give them a grin? Let's move it a bit closer. And then show him like with your head up. And then you can see.
You can actually see where my implants are because they're access points.
Oh, yeah. So,
but they're mine and they're staying in there. They don't come out. You don't take them out every night like you would these crappy dentures.
No, because with dental implants, when they put teeth on the implants, they basically screw them in. They screw the teeth in so they're solid in your mouth.
Yeah.
You've got bottom ones as well, obviously. You say you've had 2 full sets.
Yeah.
You didn't have them redone, the bottom ones, just the top.
Yeah.
So that's the update, really. Can't really think of anything else to kind of mention because I don't want this video to be like too long-winded. But what we're gonna do, not that you can remember. Can you think of anything you want to say, or you pretty much finished?
Forgotten actually. There was something I was going to say, but I can't remember now. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute.
Okay, so what I think would be the best thing to do is anybody that has any questions, because what we'll do is we'll do a Q&A video.
Yes.
Because that will help us give kind of some answers. I think that'd be really good for anyone that's interested in going over to Turkey to have their teeth done. We have had some comments of people saying I'm too scared to do it, to go over there, because it is a big thing. A lot of people are scared of dentists. But
I used to be petrified of the dentist, and I think that's where my bad scenario with my teeth started, because I never used to go to a dentist when I was young because I was too scared. Whereas once I had my children, they went to the dentist from very little, so that they're not scared of the dentist like I was. But sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do it, and that's exactly what I did, and I love it.
Well, it's fear. That's what it is.
Yeah, you have to face your fear.
You know, fear holds us back. It really does hold us back from a lot of things. So really, the way you need to think of it is let the fear kind of drive you. You know, let the fear push you to doing what is uncomfortable for you, you know, because if you don't, you're not gonna learn anything new, or you're not going to experience anything new. And if there's something you really want done, you're not going to have it done. Basically, what I will also mention before I forget is anyone that wants to go over to Turkey, doesn't have to be with Medaway, but we'll recommend Medaway because they are amazing. They really look after you. And of course, we've got loads of information. We know quite a bit about them because we've been over there so many times, so we can help as well. Hence why we're going to do a Q&A video. I've lost my train of thought because I normally do when I chat. Right, it's come back to me. So I was going to say, so anyone that wants to go over to Turkey, you can take somebody with you as a companion. You would obviously have to pay for flights for your companion, but if you take somebody over with you, they'll get free hotel stay. There's no charge. That's included in the cost, so you don't have to go on your own. You can take somebody with you, but of course they would have to pay for their flights.
Yes.
So yes, that's it. Now if I try and think of anything else, I'm just gonna lose my train of thought. So yeah, any questions, put them in the comments below, and then we'll see how many questions we have. It'd be interesting to see what people ask, actually.
Yeah, it would.
And then once we've got enough kind of questions to give answers to, we'll do a Q&A, and yeah, it will be, you know, another hopefully helpful video for anybody that wants to get their teeth done over there. So we're gonna leave it at that now. Thanks for watching, as always.
Thank you very much.
Thank God Mum has gone to Turkey, come back in one piece.
I did.
Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel
if you haven't already.
I always get it mixed up the wrong way around.
Already haven't.
Because it is free to subscribe. A lot of people think it isn't, that you have to pay for it.
No,
it's not. And press the notifications bell button, because it will notify you whenever we upload a video. There's too much to say at the end of videos, isn't there? It's like trying to remember it all
the time.
Anyway, we're going to go now. So thanks again. Take care.
Take care.
We'll see you again
guys.
soon.
See you soon. Bye.